Awesome. Happy Tuesday. We are around the globe. This is Heather Schwartz, zooming in from Manhattan Beach, California in the USA. I don't know about you guys, but can we just look when this call is sent out, okay? It says 6 p.m. in the US, 8 p.m. or in Pacific, right? 8 p.m. in Mexico, 9 p.m. in Colombia, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. in Venezuela, 2 a.m. in the UK, 4 a.m. in Africa, 7:30 a.m. in India. And if you heard this on the Vision 2025 this weekend, we are in every continent other than Antarctica. You guys, would you say you're a part of a movement? Okay. I mean, that isn't a talking point to bring people into this movement, into this incredible business called Herbalife that we are a part of, the We Do Transformations movement. I'm in on that, right? Let's get some 5 5s in the chat. Let's get some vision in the chat. Let's go vision in the chat. Okay, Vision 2025. So again, so excited to be here with all of you. Ultra honored to be a part of tonight. And I always say whenever I'm doing any kind of speaking, I always say this is a conversation. It's not a presentation. So use the chat, be engaged. I definitely intend that we have some fun tonight because that's what this business is. It's a whole lot of fun. I always say if your fun meter is not at a 10, what do we got to do coming off of this call to bring it up a notch, right? If you're at a 5 right now, how do we get to a 6? How do we get to a 7? How do we get to a 10 plus? I've been a part of this amazing business for over 17 years and ultra excited about Vision 2025. So let's get into it. I am going to share here. Let's get into this. Give me 1 second. Okay. So for those of you who I have never met, I have been a part, again, 17 and a half years. This is my family. I was not married or with kids when I joined this incredible company 17 years ago, but here I am, just turned 40 this year, and I am now a mama of 2, a very happy, grateful wife, my husband, Eli, and he is an incredible client, okay? He loves the products. We are accountability partners on our programs. I'll talk about that. And this is us. So I want to go into this weekend, you guys. Okay. Many of you were on incredible. And actually, I'm going to log in so all that you guys are saying in the chat. Many of you were a part of this training this weekend, okay? Or you watched there is a recording on YouTube that you can watch as well, okay? And you got to see this incredible 2025 vision. I want to give a shout out to Disney, Jorge, Edgar, Quentin, Octavio, Virginia, Tracy, Jashan. Oh, wow. What a lineup, you guys. I had so much fun with each section, got so much from each person who shared. So thank you for your time, your energy, your vision, so that we can all take this into 2025 and really close out 2024 strong. Okay. Not only, and we're going to be talking about this. So I want you to take a moment, okay? Because if you were on this training, can you throw in the chat one of your favorite parts of the weekend, right? Something that you're taking on, an action step, because it's one thing to get inspired, right? By any of their sections, but it's a whole nother thing to take action. Right? I know a lot of us are fired up about Octavio's section, talking about the app updates. Who's fired up about the app updates? Right? I already synced my calendar. I was looking at it. So you can, not only is there now follow up, right? But you can also personalize your follow up. So they give you templates and you can personalize. Wow. 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 Okay. There was so much in this training for us to take on. So I want to really give a shout out to these very special people and keep putting into the chat what your favorite parts of this training was and action steps that you're taking on from the 2020 vision. Okay. I also want to say, because we're going into a very special week, I know there are future president's team retreats going on all over the globe, you guys. And this weekend, for those of us in the US or those who are coming to the US Future Pres Team Retreat, we actually have Quentin as our international speaker. We are so excited to see you. We are going to be in Hollywood, Florida at the Diplomat this weekend. Here's the agenda. If you need to screenshot, it's on boards. This is the Diplomat Hotel. Never been there. Ultra excited. So this weekend, can you put a FPTR in the chat if you are going to the Future President's Team Retreat in Hollywood, Florida? Shout out to all of our qualifiers, 2,500 Global Expansion Team and up, as well as Millionaire Team, President's Team. Shout out to all of you going to the Future President's Team Retreat, or you've been to a Future President's Team Retreat somewhere in the globe. Shout out where you went to. I want to see them. So excited. Okay. So going back to this, I actually have, because I think it's so cool when you come out of an event, who does just got back calls, right? When you come out of you come out of an STS, you come out of an event, it is ultra inspiring to get to connect with your team about what people get out of an event. And it does something for you. I recommend, if you haven't done this, shared your action steps, shared your takeaways with your team, with anyone. It really, you're more likely to take action on what you get when you share. So that's one of your first action steps. You can start an action step list coming out of this call, right? It's always good. I always do that for calls. I'm always like, I have a sheet of paper. It's like action step list. Okay. So highly recommend you do that. And not only that, but I have a very special friend that I asked to jump on tonight. He is, when you hear him speak, you're going to be like, can he just do the whole call? Because he's so fired. So fire. He's one of my amazing friends. That's one of the things I love so much about Herbalife is you build these amazing friendships. We got to spend some time together at our Amplify event a couple months ago, and I've been a part of his journey. So I'm excited for you to hear from him. And he was on the 2025 vision this weekend, and we were messaging, and I was like, Marcus, what'd you think? And he was like, awesome. And then we were going back and forth, and I was like, wait a minute. Can I have you jump on and share? Because I think for those of you who were on, hearing Marcus share is going to remind you and even enliven some things about the event that you may be excited to take on. He's amazing with verbiage. So you're gonna be like, oh, that's a great way to share it with the team, and also to share it with new people. Right? Today at the club, I was like, hey, I'm getting on this global training. Did you know, because I had a bunch my challengers at the club. I was like, that we do transformations is in every continent except Antarctica, which I didn't know that until this weekend, right? Did you know that we've impacted over 100,000 lives already? And our mission is to impact 1 million plus lives. Did you know that we've already given away over $500,000? Did you know? That's over 500,000. Okay. So I was using talking points from the weekend with and inspiring my community, right? So how can you package and inspire and use it to really share with your community and inspire? So I'm so excited to bring up this very special person. He's an amazing friend of mine. He's an amazing leader. He's had, one thing I will say, okay, no matter what is going on in the background, it's all how we handle, right? It's all how we move forward in life. And he's had quite a year. Marcus. I love you so much. He's had a year. And even despite that, he was a yes to getting on. He was a yes to being an Amplify. He's a yes to being on the Vision 2025. So for those of you who have had stuff going on in the background in your year, personal things in your life, but yet you still show up, you still have a desire to make an impact on other people, even though you're growing through something. Okay. Marcus is such an example of that. So please give it up. Let's go some Marcus in the chat. Okay. Millionaire team on his way to way beyond president's team and above, Marcus James.
Yo, Heather, first off, to the We Do Transformation family, thank you guys for this platform, this opportunity. To my incredible upline and mentor, Heather Shore, 30K. Like you get the opportunity to rub elbows and learn from some of the greatest people that have ever walked this earth, but also want to see you win. So Heather, thank you for sharing space for me. You literally had me shaking in that intro because I realized that 2024 was not my year, but it is grooming me in preparation for what is to come. So this vision call this weekend was a game changer, right? Like, and what it showed me. So before I even get into it, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Marcus James out of Phoenix, Arizona. I've been blessed to be on this journey now for 11 years, right? 11 months, the global expansion team, one more year to 2.5, another year and a half to millionaire team, and just having a blast with what we get to do in this community. But I'll be honest with you guys, for the last couple of years, I've been making excuses and fumbling my opportunity and not playing full out. And this vision call was the gut check and the clarity that I needed to realize that I've been underutilizing this phenomenal tool. And even when I've had success with it, I still didn't play full out. And I was like, dang, I'm self-sabotaging, right? And like, this is the powerful opportunity that we get to become the best version of ourselves, which gives so much more life to what's been created for us. Like, this is the plug and play. Herbalife is a phenomenal space, but the We Do Transformation Challenge tool is a resource that's designed to help you elevate not only as a person, but your business, your royalty, and your legacy. And that we get to have so much fun as we're building community, changing lives, because I recognize like this right here, right now, as we are finishing out 2024, what do we get to create? Because the momentum and the leadership is like, yo, this is for the hungry, not the homeless. You don't get to sit on your butt and just wait for something to be handed to you. You got to go get it. But when you get it, you have a chance to really touch people's lives. And so now I look at it and I was like, well, what am I passionate about on this journey? And so as Heather mentioned, 2024 has been a year of challenge and adversity. For those of you who do not know, I just lost my mother, coming right out of extravaganza, to a cancer journey that she had been winning and fighting over for years. But the one thing that we connected on for the last 11 years was the vision of this opportunity and what it gets to be and who we get to become in the process. She was my only believer when I first started this journey. And then when we stepped into the We Do transformation process, she was like, baby, this is going to streamline everything. Imagine how powerful we could be when we really start to tap in. So now I'm like, oh, I get to carry her legacy with me into this. You know what 2025 is about? And listen, we got translation. I'm going to try not to get too turned up, right? But I'm excited for what we're creating, right? There's leaders. I can't even believe how entitled I've been. There's leaders that were just sharing on this call that plug in the calls at 3 a.m. And I'm sitting here wondering like, oh man, am I going to make the Tuesday call at 7 p.m.? They're waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning to be plugged in. Then being charged with, hey, if you get enough people, here's how you can start this opportunity in your country. Here's how we're going to launch your region. I remember when my upline Chairman's Club member, Heather or Leslie Stanford, told me what she had to do to get Canada started. And now we have people doing that around the world, plugging into this call. And I was like, man, I'm playing small, worried about what I can create here in Phoenix. It's already off and popping. Like, what? Like, let's go. And then you go, okay, great. Ego had me being like, man, I've run challenges. I don't really need to tap in like that. And I see what the leadership is adding to the resource to streamline the process for us. So it's literally plug and play. You plug in and play full out, and you're going to change lives, change impact, like change pins. Like, what are we here for? We're here on a mission to literally change the world. And we have a tool and a resource that's going to just speed up the process. It's like, hey, you want to push on roller skates or you want to hop in this Lamborghini? And I was like, well, I'm going to get the keys and I'm going to hop in this thing because we get to ride it out. And now it's like, okay, well, what's missing? What else does the app need? This app does everything that we need it to do and more. It's like, nah, man, stop making excuses and justifying not utilizing it and just go get it because it's right there for you. And I'm like, man, how else do I get to? I'm tapping into each share and I'm listening. And I'm like Tracy Johnson from Wisconsin. And I was like, you know what? I get to be a brand. I don't even know Tracy like that, but I'll never forget Tracy Johnson from Wisconsin. So imagine what kind of impact she gets to have in her community. And then we got my guy sitting here and he was like, man, people are always talking about what it doesn't have, what's missing, instead of utilizing what it is. He was like, how about you be 30K and get 500 coaches plugged into the system? Then you start bringing things to the table. And I was like, man, that's the gut check I needed. Now, that may discourage some people, but the athlete in me was like, I got friends being recognized as top coaches on here. I see Itzy and Kill, Vince and Tanya being recognized as top coaches. And I'm like, these are people I know and I love, and they're winning with the system. So it's time to turn up. And so I was like, okay, great. How can I start to really connect the pieces? I have a phenomenal accountability group with some of the strongest leadership in Herbalife, from Mill to up to 20K Prez. And I was like, yo, these are my friends and we get to go get it. And I'm like, I have everything I need so I can operate from a space of gratitude. And then I've been charged with the opportunity to carry my mother's legacy for the rest of my life. And she believed in this life. She saw a vision before I did. So we got on a call with my team and I was like, hey, y'all, it's time for us to go. We haven't had the chance to play full out yet. Life has been lifing, but who hasn't gone through things? So then I had to get clear. I was like, okay, well, what's my game plan? Because it's one thing to be excited, but that excitement fades when the call's over or when you leave the event or when you're no longer around your organization. What's going to be the thing that gets you moving every day? So I sat down and I was like, okay, great. Marcus, what's your 5 points now? The first one is an attitude of gratitude. Be grateful that you're alive, physically capable, mentally aware, and in a space to tap into a community that's building and allowing you to be able to build internationally. Yo, Google Translator has now become one of my friends because I'm like, look what's possible. There's somebody in another country that I can build this business with just by being a connector. Stop trying to be the source, Marcus. You don't have to be the source. Be a resource to the source. This challenge, this platform, this app, this system, this community, these products, that's the source. Just be a resource. And that attitude of gratitude will allow it to be more attractive. So I'm going to tell y'all, I've gotten 3 wellness profiles lined up for tomorrow just from the excitement of sending messages based off of the call I took away and being in a space of gratitude. Number 2, get clear on your goals. I forgot my man's name, but when he was like, yeah, be 30K and have 500 people on the call, I was like, well, that's a goal to strive for. But how about I set for 25 challengers in the New Year's challenge? Everybody's going to be New Year, new me anyway. Why not be New Year, new me with me? Like, what? I'm fumbling opportunities. And if I can get to 25 before December's out, then we can push, because the beautiful thing about our challenge is there's always room once the challenge starts to plug people in, right? Like, you can just keep going. I was like, all right, dope. The next piece, how many people am I going to have working with me? Many hands make for light lifting. So I reached out to my team. I'm like, all right, y'all, how can we better utilize this resource? Why? Because I'm going either way. I'm going to get to Prez. I'm going to get 15K. I'm going to get to 20K. I got to go either way. But you know how much more fun it is when you bring dope people with you? And I got a squad, y'all. So now it's like, let's lock arms and go get this together. And then last but not least, I was like, man, you got to get back to setting goals for yourself every month. There's no reason you're not a 5K active supervisor anymore. You're not pushing for your 10K active and 15K active, because that's impact. And now you have the system already built out for you to go get it. The brand is sexy as all hell, so you might as well just tap in and stop overthinking and underdoing. This analysis of paralysis has been crippling you. And I can tell y'all wholeheartedly, because I got friends that are like, yo, bro, I appreciate you still showing up through a season like this. Like, my mother was my best friend, my mentor, she was my connection to God. But God was like, listen, she did her job. She was your first client. She was the reason I got 22 clients and challengers my very first month on this journey. Because when she got results, people were like, yo, if you and your moms can do it, anybody can do it. But he was like, she did her job. She was social proof for you. Now, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, then, what about my sidelines or my downlines and my uplines? And I'm making all these excuses, looking everywhere else. But I got to take a moment to look at the man in the mirror and go, nah, God gave me gifts. I might as well use them. because that's what this opportunity is begging for you. So the last part of that 5-piece journey was, what are you passionate about, Marcus? You don't have to be a personal trainer. You don't have to be the greatest nutritionist. You don't have to be the greatest motivational speaker in the world. You don't have to be all of these things. But what were you created to be? Who were you built to be? What is your gift? And how can you use your gift to plug people into a system that's designed to edify their gifts? And how can we get better together? And I look at my team and I'm like, ooh, but they got a gift in this. She got a gift in that. I got a region in Canada about to boom. I got leadership here in Phoenix turning up. I got squad in Colorado getting their momentum back. And I was like, we in the game. All I got to do is put my jersey on and go hoop. Man, like, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for the leadership that works behind the scenes. I've locked arms with a sideline press team member here in Phoenix, and she's just been super dope. And she's a part of the We Do transformation system. So giving me insight behind the scenes, like, you got to start locking arms with the people that are about to go get it. This journey, y'all, I'm telling you, We Do transformations is not for the hungry. It's not for the homeless. It's for the hungry. So how hungry are you? How are you going to speed up your metabolism? How many people are you going to help? How many lives are you going to touch? And what are you going to do for you every single day to pour into yourself so that you can play full out? I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful to be here with you guys, but I'm even more grateful that when we cross the stage at Prez, we get to stand on a platform and say, we made an impact by plugging in and giving to others the same way this opportunity is given to me. I'm excited to pass it back to my phenomenal upline, who in a 30K organization has been a pillar in my life. I have never seen someone love so authentically from this space, and she is the smallest person I know, but has the biggest heart that continues to hold space. There hasn't been a week that's gone by since my mom's passed that she hasn't reached out, called, text, or FaceTimed, and I appreciate that more than you know. I love her to life, and I'm excited for what we get to do because I'm going to be a part of her movement into that 40K, 50K, and beyond in that Chairman's Club. So back to my phenomenal upline, 30K, Heather Schwartz.
Wow. Marcus, do you see the chat? I knew it. I already knew it was going to be this fire. You always blow me away every time you speak, Marcus. Thank you so much. Your words are so powerful, and it's your come from, right? And I think he's such an example, right? If we can think about Vision 2025, like, what is your come from, right? Like Marcus, when he speaks, it comes with this like fire and passion. And where can you find that? It doesn't have to be a duplication of Marcus, right? We're all our own person, but can you connect to something new when you share, right? The way Marcus finds that way to do that despite the type of year he's had, right? I love you so much, Marcus. Thank you so much for being on. And I can't wait for many more WDT calls with you. Everyone's like, when can he speak again? We're actually doing the JKO Hawaii event. So that'll be fun. So many more to come. We're going to get into some more things. And again, keep using the chat. Make sure you've got your translation clicked over there. And again, wow. So let's get back to, let me share screen on this one. Here we go. Okay. So a little bit, I'm just going to go through these real fast. My journey, you know, I was 23 years old when I found Herbalife. And here I am today, very different place in my life, right? You think about your journey, 24 hours before you found Herbalife to who you are today, right? And so I just want to go into it because you're coming out again of this 2025 vision event. And one of my favorite things about Herbalife, right? I don't know where you are at in your life. Some of you might be in your 20s. Some of you might be in your 60s, like wherever you're at is fantastic. And I actually remember Stefan Graziani, our president, right, talking about the value of reinvention. And I think this is such a powerful thing to think about as we move forward, as you build your Herbalife, your transformation. That's so perfect for this because it's all about transforming, right? Which is complete alignment with our reinventions. So I'll just share, right? You see me here. I'm fired up. I have currently some of the best results I've ever had in my business. And I've continuously gotten results. When I first started, 17 pounds, I lost 21 pounds, 6% body fat. Now kept it off for over 17 years. And I've done that 3 times, right? I did that when I first started, when I was 23, coming out of UCLA, just out of college, just out of sorority life, right? And then I did it again when I had my first child, Rylan, 4.5 years ago. And then I did it again after baby 2. So my daughter is 16 months this month. And I just want to say, a year ago, I was really thinking about this when a lot of you were at the We Do Transformations launch when my daughter was born. I was going through it, you guys. Okay. So if you're in that space right now where you are growing through some things, okay, so much can change in 1 year. And I remember looking and watching the videos, a bunch of you being going through it, like baby 2, like a lot of people don't talk about the transition from baby 1 to baby 2. I was also running a nutrition club, right? And I was like, man. And so I'll just say my reinvention over the last year has been one of the biggest life breakthroughs for me. And so I tell you, keep trusting, keep going, keep growing, keep trusting the process. Okay. You got this. Okay. And I'll just say one of the things that I took on is a new morning routine. And I highly recommend this. Okay. I had never been a 5 a.m. club. Okay. I was like 6:30 a.m. I was very happy with my 6:30 a.m. club. Okay. And my husband actually inspired me. He was going to 6:30 a.m. hot yoga. And so he was getting up at 5:30. And I got invited to 2 of my friends invited me to 6 a.m. workouts. Baby was 9 months old. So I was working out from home. I was on my nutrition game. But there was this next level of me that I got to step into. Okay. And I'll just say, when you put yourself in positions to have to show up, amazing things happen. I'll say that again. When you put yourself in positions to have to show up, amazing things happen. Okay. And I know a lot of people have said to me, I don't have time to work. Your clients, they go, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time for to make a shake or whatever. Okay. You don't have time to not have time is what I want to say to someone. You don't have time to not have time. So I now wake up at 5 a.m. Waking up at 5 a.m. is like my favorite thing. I really love it. When I used to hate getting up in the dark, I now find it empowering to get up in the dark. It is so peaceful. You have this time to yourself. And I work out in the morning. I get my shake. I get my time. I'm telling you, when you fill your cup in the morning, before kids, before all the things, live. Oh my gosh, Tanya, up at 2. Oh my, okay. Take it to a whole nother level, girl. Okay, number 1, my friend. But I will say, okay, for me, it's 4:45 right now when I go to a 6 a.m. class, or else 5:30. But I'm telling you, one of the best things that I did was create this solid morning routine. Okay. It's like life-changing. So I'm not telling you need to wake up at 5 a.m., but what I am telling you is, and I know we hear this in every flippin' Herbalife training. Okay. We hear this in every WDT training. We hear this in every training, is it got to start with ourselves. What I'm telling you, if you are in a place right now where you are not loving you, that is number 1 right now. Okay. Because people walk in my club right now and I'm so on fire. I'm in these blue pants, feeling so good. Okay. And I'm just fired up. Okay. And I'm like, no one can tell me anything because I've got my results. And you can feel it in my energy. And then I talk about what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, you want to know what's in my bottle? Right? I fill this up every morning, you guys. So of course I got my shake. One of my favorite things, and I talk about this, so now everyone buys this product. I fill this up. Okay. I was not drinking enough water. So thank you, Herbalife, for my beautiful tumbler that I got at the vacation. Shout out to everyone who was on the vacation, ever been on an Herbalife vacation. I fill this up with tons of water and ice, and I put in Bev Mix and collagen in the morning. Sometimes Prepare goes in here when I'm going to my workouts. Sometimes I put some tea in there as well, but I'm drinking protein all day. Okay, because most people are getting nearly half the amount of protein they need. So I'm drinking protein all day, right? So I talk about these things because it's authentic. I talk about what I'm doing. So I know you guys know this, but I just wanted to share that because it has to start there. Okay. And then keeping it moving. So I just want to say, right, this is for all of us. The first step, right? If you need to take a new first step, it's okay. It's always the hardest, and every journey begins with a single step. So this was me when I started Santa Monica Beach Fit Camp with Mark and Jill Addy, Chairman's Club members. Jake Dwyer is my sponsor. He's a 15K Executive President's Team member. And this is where I started, okay? And we went from no locations to now we have in my organization over 50 across the United States. So when people come into my nutrition club, I'll just share this, guys, okay? I just have to share this in case you want to add this in. They're like, oh, they see me like, oh, is this your cute little shop? And I'm like, actually, I've been here for 2 years, right? I've been coaching people for 17 years, over 17 years. And we have over 50 locations around the country. And they're like, what? Right? My cute little shop. Okay. So, it's all in your verbiage. It is all in your verbiage. Okay. So again, and today, it's really about community. It's always been for me, these two words, community. And this is what I love about Herbalife. So right now, my fit camp, although I built a camp model, okay, today I use WDT alongside workouts in our community. So I've partnered with a bunch of local fitness studios. Okay. So Pure Barre is upstairs in my shopping center. Wendy, the owner, is one of my preferred members, and we have partnered. So she has it where everyone I bring can get their first class free. We've created a partnership. Same thing. Allison is my friend at the Torrance Cycle Bar. So everyone I bring gets first class free. This is an event that I created with one of my preferred members. She's another local business owner, and we created this fitness event. It's a cool relationship building event where we did fitness and all kinds of things. So this is the way I'm building community and connection. And for me, it gets me excited. It feels innovative. And it's right now because it's me, right? Like I'm growing the G Hub, right? I don't have a whole crew yet to run fit camps with. So right now, this is the way I'm building. Okay. Community and connection. This is here at my nutrition club. Chelsea and Sada have done back to back challenges all year long. They come in every single month. They drive over. One of them drives like an hour. They probably both drive almost an hour to come see me, get on my InBody scale, do their numbers, check in, use the WDT app, get their nutrition program. Teresa's one of my challengers, many challenges this year. Kiri and Vicky were actually in the club today. They took this picture, and today they were there. And I'll show you some of the messages with Kiri about how I just got her restarted after we met actually 15 years ago, and she just got restarted. I'm gonna show you the messages. And Vicky is a back-to-back challenger as well. So here is the story of Kiri. Okay, so 15 years ago, you guys, Kiri met because I put a gift card in a silent auction at UCLA, and Kiri won it. And it had on the gift card, it was $100 value to get a wellness evaluation. And today it would be like an InBody scan. I use the InBody scale at the G Hub. Okay. So here are the messages 15 years later. Kiri and I have stayed connected. Okay. This is one of my favorite things is to stay connected with people. So I send her holiday card every year. I've just kept in contact with her, right? And here's the messages. You can take a screenshot of exactly what I said, but I was still working. I was so focused on getting 15 challengers this month, guys. So on the third day of the challenge, I was still inviting. I invite to there's no more inviting, right? So I said, happy first Wellness Wednesday of December and day 3 of our December challenge, Kiri. Thought of you and your last message, because she had mentioned when she got my last message that she wanted to get restarted. She just retired. And I said, would you like to join us? You're on my heart. So some of my key phrases that I personally love to use are I'm thinking of you and you're on my heart. And it's authentic. I don't say it if I don't mean it, right? And so she said, and here's how I responded. I booked her for, I made sure it was all booked. It was very immediate to, you can see all the verbiage here. I'm not gonna read it, but I gave you the verbiage to see how I turned that conversation. I have a 149 program that she got, and that includes some products for the challenge. They get access to the app. They can come and see me, get an in-body scan, get my coaching. And that's how I position it. And it just went boom, 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 right? Like I kept it flowing. So in case this verbiage is helpful, I wanted to share with you that. And then here's another one that I do. Okay. I send out every month, I go through orders from the prior month from as soon as I register as a just so you guys know. So you can register today as a January coach. So as soon as the registration comes out, I register, right? So it's like starting whatever day that was 2 days ago, then I registered as a January coach. Anyone who puts in an order December, whatever 2 days ago was, and on is now eligible for the prize pot. You guys know that, right? So I go back to my order history and I message everyone who put in the, two Formula One volumes. It's like 65.5 volume points now to qualify to be eligible for the prize pot. You'll see that in the app. And I send this message. This was like last year. Happy Healthy New Year, Kim. How are you? Also, your December Herbalife order, so you could say like your December Herbalife order qualified you for our January 10K prize pot. This can set you up for next month, right? 10 winners will each win 1K each. Wanted to make sure you know you're invited. Let me know if you'd like to register and I'll send you the info. And she said, I'm interested. I always then ask, what are your goals? So I can help make sure they have the right products aligned with the challenge. So these are some messages to see. These are some of the action steps that I take on in case this is helpful. Is this helpful? Can you let's see if this is helpful. Is verbiage? Okay, verbiage is helpful. Okay, great. I always think verbiage is helpful. And I know I want to give a shout out to, the Brian Mark trainings. Have you looked at the Brian Mark trainings, right? Because you can learn so much. And if you need to modify. Like We Do Transformation. It's a tool. And then I give it a Heather flair, right? Because I'm the Gratitude Healthy Hub. That's my club. And that's how people know me. So I use WDT. This is a tool, a global resource, right? And then I Heatherify it, or I Gratitude Healthy Hubify it. So it makes my community know that it's from me with a global platform. Okay. We have a global platform. Okay. Awesome. Another thing that I do is I send out weekly challenger messages. We now have a follow-up tool on the app. Shout out to the app with the follow-up, okay? And you can personalize it. So I will now be using that, right? This is something that I said to one of my challengers this week. Happy Motivated Monday, Aaliyah. I always send out Motivated Monday messages. Excited for your week of goals and results. Looking forward to seeing you Thursday. She's coming in this Thursday. Any of my in-person challengers, my goal is that they come in weekly to see me, or if they don't want to do weekly, they come in at the beginning and the end. Okay. I don't yet. Shout out to Tracy Johnson and all of you that do your parties. That is in my future. Okay. It's coming. Right now they do one-on-one sessions with me. But I do have as much in-person connection time as possible. Okay. And I have it scheduled in our calendars. So it's not like me having to message them. Like it goes in our Google Calendar. It's a shared appointment and it pops up in their calendar. I never used to do this, you guys. I did everything manual. I finally use tools so that, it's scheduled on their calendar and they're coming in to see me. Okay. If you have anything, blah, 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 reminding people to use the resources in the app. Does anyone notice, like, unless you walk through the app with your challengers, they don't often use it. Okay. So I want to make sure, Kiri's using the workouts. She was using the workout app part of the app today. Like, do they realize that the resources are there? Do they see the recipes, the challenger guide? They can access the Telegram with the community messages, and they can turn off the notifications if it's too much, but it's so organized and it takes a lot of the pressure off of you to do the daily thing, and you can be more personal in your one-on-one messages, but you use that as a daily motivation and daily education for your challengers. So I'll make sure that's this. And as you can see, she told me right here, because I messaged her that she was going through a challenge. I'm going to actually make sure she knows that she has workouts in the app. I'm going to add that in because I scheduled her on the spot to come work out with me. You can see right here in this message. I said, let's go work out together then. So she's now going to work out with me tomorrow morning at Cycle Bar, and we're going to continue building our relationship, which is great. And I'm also going to make sure she knows there's workouts in the app and that she scheduled it into her calendar to work out, to use the app. Because it's one thing to say, oh, there's workouts in the app, but we got to get it scheduled in your calendar that you're going to use the app to work out. Okay. And then another thing for the winner announcements, that's a great tool for people seeing the vision, new challengers, right? Paolo is someone who had been interested in joining a challenge. And so I used the September, the winner live. I messaged her and I said, hey, I remembered your message. Jump on this motivating and inspiring, challenger winner live to get around the energy and learn. So use the tools, you guys. Like there's so much, right? So these are just some of the things and the things that I say and do, because everything has got to be intentional, right? And there's so much we can use to move our business forward. Okay. Actually, I'm not going to do this yet. I have some more things that I want to share. Couple more minutes in my own notes that don't align with the that aren't in here. So a couple more things I wanted to share with you guys, okay? Times that I have been most excited about challenges is when I'm excited about my funnel for new. Okay. Do you need a new funnel for new? Okay. I think that sometimes when challenges start to feel boring, I actually saw a really cool message that Jaime, if you're on the line, I saw you post about boredom. Boredom actually means you're on the right track. It means you're in flow. Okay. So if you've getting bored with we've all been there. I'm bored with challenges, which how can you be bored with this? There's always something, you guys keep it so fresh here, but we sometimes get bored. We're doing the same thing over and over, right? It means you're doing the right thing. Okay. But what I have noticed, the reason I am consistently excited right now is because I use the Nutrition Club to build new. Okay. So I constantly have a new flow of people. Do you need to have a nutrition club? No. Okay. You do not need to have that. You've got to have something that gets you connected to new. So some of you are amazing with social media. Okay. Constantly focus on new. Do not keep talking to the same people, new people, right? Do you get to join, Marcus is in like a run club. Do you get to join like an area, like the way I go to Cycle Bar, I go to Pure Bar, I go to all these local fitness studios, meet new people, right? What are you doing to build new? Okay. Because finding your thing to meet new people, there's so many things out there to meet new people and get out there. And that's when you're going to be the most excited about challenges. Okay. I also want to do something real quick here. Okay. Who loves how you can easily invite prior challengers on the app? Okay. We're going to do this together. Are you guys ready? We're going to take an action step here. Okay. So you're going to go right now. We're going to do this together. You're welcome. We're going to go into the WeDo app. Let's all go into the WeDo app. Okay. We're going to go into, have you registered? First of all, if you have not yet registered for the January challenge, you get to register as a coach for the January challenge. Already did that. Okay. Because when Jorge said it's open, I went in. Okay. So that's number one, get registered. Okay. I'm registered. Did you know you can click invite? Okay. Sorry. Invite challengers. Do you see that? You can invite all of your prior challengers right from the app. Okay. So you go in and two things. Number one, it'll remind them. You got to kind of tell them, right? But number two, it reminds you, right? Because I'm a list person. So let me just tell you what I do. I have list called challenging clients. This is almost every challenger and client, or challenger at least, not all my clients, but all my challengers since, hold on, this is a list. I do this every month. It's since like 2020. You know what this does? Abundance mindset. When you look at the names, you're like, oh my God, I have people, right? But the one thing is like when your brain goes, oh, I don't know who to invite. I have no people. Number one, you do, right? Tracy, you said this on the training. People know people, right? But it's so important that you consistently remind yourself of like bringing in the prior people. And a lot of the people on this list were people who were interested who didn't even do a challenge yet. So it reminds me who to go follow up with. Okay. But then real quick, we're back in the WeDo app. So you can actually invite your prior challengers. Did you know you could do this? Okay. So you go into invite challengers, you go into my challengers. It might be updating right now, but in there, it has your prior challengers and you can click and go message them and re-invite them to the January challenge. So cool, right? Great question. Do you invite them? Oh, and by the way, there's a Q&A. I'm going to open it up in just a couple minutes for Q&A. Write it in the Q&A section. But Michelle, I see your question. Do you invite even though they haven't ordered? So I don't know if you guys heard this one, but here's what I do. I focus on people who are going to be eligible for the prize pot, but I also use the app as a support system to support people, even if they're not currently active, to remind them about why they love this, to get them reactive around. Like I have a girl, Stephanie, she really wants to get restarted on her program. She's working on it. We're actually now talking about her doing the business because she needs extra income. She was like, I really want to restart, but it's a money thing for me. And I said, Stephanie, have you thought about making money with the business again? Because she used to back in the day, right? Have you thought about making money with the business? And she's like, no, I hadn't thought about it. And I was like, well, how much money do you need to make? So now we're going through that. So Michelle, I focus on using it to support clients and challengers who have ordered, but I also use it as a support for people to get re-engaged. Great question. Okay. So that is ultra cool. Let me go back to my notes here. I just wanted to do that real quick. Let's see. I did that. Just want to make sure I told you guys all the things. And lastly, I will say, using tools. Okay. And I saw this on a call. I would just say, if you could, actually, this is the tool, right? Could you use, let's talk about the tools. Okay. Use your WeDo Transformation app. There's the WDT Connect app, right? There's things to support you, because I don't know about you, but for 17 years, I was doing so much manually. And I'm just so grateful for tools like WDT, like WDT Connect, all the tools that are being provided here, things like Google Calendar to schedule things, like, now you can sync your calendar, like use things like that. There's now all the AI stuff, right? Just be smart with how you're utilizing your time. So I want to say that. I'm going to go into some action steps and then open it up to questions, and we are set. So your action steps. There we go. Okay, guys. So we just came out of 2025 vision. Oops, excuse me. Sorry about that. Are you clear on your vision? And I think sometimes when you're like, how do I get a vision? I remember when they started talking about this, I was like, how do you have vision, right? Number one, that Zoom gave you vision. It showed you, like all of the speakers on they showed you how to start to create your vision. And a lot of the time you got to go back to your why and make a vision board. So if you're working on getting clear and being in your peak state, right? Go back to your why and make a vision board as well and get clear on your 2025 vision. Number two, telling you, if you are not as fired up as you could be, it is probably your own results. Potentially a stronger morning routine. If you want to start doing 5 a.m. club with me, I'm telling you, it's changed my life, but it doesn't have to be 5. It just got to be something that resonates for you, that has you pour into you so you can be in peak state to pour into others. Okay. And it's physical results and also your self-development, your mind, your body, your soul, all of it. Okay. And then what's one new action step you can take on today / this week? right? Can you utilize a new piece of the app? Right? There's the new follow-up. Can you start using the follow-up? Can you go back to the Brian Mark trainings? Like, what is something new you can take on, and grab one of your team members as an accountability partner to do it with you. Okay. So motivation is what gets you started. Habit is what keeps you going. Thank you, Jim Rohn. That is what I've got for you. So excited and honored to be a part of this call. I'm going to open it up to the Q&A if there are any questions before we close out. And again, I want to say, acknowledging our Vision 2025 this past weekend, acknowledging the WDT leadership. Thank you. Acknowledging, what's up, Sid? Love you, friend. Acknowledging you, Marcus. Thank you for being a yes around everything in life. I love you. Thank you for your impact on this call. You are so amazing. Love you, Angelica. Oh my gosh, I love this. Britt, what's up? Oh my God, I love you all so much. Okay, so I'm gonna go in this Q&A. Let's see. Oh, it's in Spanish. I don't know. I do know Spanish, but I don't. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sandra. We love you. Anything? Any questions? Love you too, Tracy. I'm so excited to see so many of you at Future Pres. We got anything before we close out? We good? Let's see. Is there a new version of WDT Connect? That would be a good question for the leadership. I don't have that answer, but I'm sure that they will respond for you. Amazing. Oh, what's up, Connie? Birthday girl, what's up? Thank you, Latoya and Alma. Okay, I love you all. This is amazing. Okay, so let's all love you, love you, Enrique. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so we're closing out. Okay, the action step is go take some of this. Go take the Vision 2025. For those of you I get to see in Hollywood, Florida at the Future Pres, we love you. Can't wait to see you. And we will see you next Tuesday. And let's grow.